Hello, welcome to the newspaper review here on Top TV. My name is William Sabule, and today is the first day in the month of June. It's a new month. Happy new month to our viewers, and happy new month to you, Mr. Victor Sioku.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much for joining us once more.
Thank you, sir.
Well, if this is the first time you're seeing this video, this is where we take the headlines across newspapers around Nigeria. We get to talk about these headlines, analyze them, and of course, would love you to be a part of it. To be a part of this, you would need to first subscribe to this channel by clicking on the subscribe button. Don't forget to also turn on the notification key. That helps you to get notified whenever we come online. We're also on other social media platforms. We're on Facebook as Top TV. On Instagram is Top TV _NG, and on Twitter is at Top TV. So do well to connect with us on any of these platforms. We'd love to hear from you. All right, Mr. Victor, let's go through some of the headlines and see what they look like today, the first day of June 2022. All right, let's start with this day newspaper, and it says here, Buhari meets governors, moves to choose successor. Still consulting, says his candidate will give Nigerians sense of victory, confidence ahead of poll. Governors meeting deadlocked. National Working Committee members accuse Adamu of rendering body redundant, taking unilateral decisions. All right, so you find details of that story on page 41 of the This Day newspaper. But Mr. Victor, our president is on the lookout for his successor. What do you say to that?
Okay, I can understand the mood of the governors and the aspirants.
Yeah.
Mind you, we have a lot of governors that wants to become president. Okay, so I also understand that. But where the president is also trying to come in is that he wants a consensus candidate. Mind you, he's been preaching that since the Electoral Act was enacted.
Yeah.
But you find out that some governors really do not want it to be about consensus. And mind you, persons like Bola Tinubu will not want such, because from all indices or fingers pointing, it shows that he seems not to be the preferred person. Okay? What has the president also said? That he wants somebody that can continue with the work that he has started. And when that statement came up, fingers now started pointing at persons working directly with him, working in this government. Then you mention who are the persons. Osibanjo is there, front burner, since he's the number 2 citizen of this country.
Yeah.
You have
Rotimi
Amechi, Minister of Transport.
Yeah.
You have the Senate President, Ahmed Lawan.
That one, yeah.
Then you have, will I say, Wanjoba,
The Minister
of State of Education.
Yeah.
Okay. That's the much I can call out right now. But you also understand that these governors that are against the president, mind you, most of these governors anointed persons that will succeed them.
Yeah, in their states, yeah.
Yes. So why wouldn't the president anoint somebody that will succeed him? That's what I'm asking. Secondly, you find out that since 1999, that Obasanjo in 2007 anointed Yaradua. Even when Yaradua was, he wasn't really the favorite person then, because we're like, oh, what has he done before now? Who is he?
Yeah. It seemed like a newbie on the
Yes,
block.
yes. So if you notice, President Olusegun anointed him. Then, during the time of Goodluck Jonathan, unfortunately for him, he couldn't get.
Yeah, powers changed hands.
Yes. Now it's time for the oh God, I don't like it, but I would just almost say General Buhari, just like the punch we always describe him.
Yes.
Yes, but the president also has showed that, see you, I just want to do this. Guys, rally around me. You guys do same thing in your states. Rally around me. Let's make sure
Let's
that
get the best.
we get the best. Yes, he made mention of that. Let's get the best and not just mediocre that just want power.
And we hope that this best that he's looking for, he finds him, and let it actually be someone that will turn around some of the things that, you know, Nigerians are complaining about. Because if he's saying he's looking for someone that will continue his legacies, I mean, questions will be raised. I mean, what are his legacies?
And mind you, the APC chairman, he seems to be very loyal. Okay?
Yeah.
If you notice his movement, his body movement is just aligning with the president. Okay? Because, just like, okay, take a look at the PDP chairman. You find out that he is more like trying to run it on his own.
Yes.
Okay? If you notice, he really also anointed Atiku. There's no two ways about that. If you notice from the game plan, because there was supposed to be, we are coming back to the zoning formula. PDP has been always known for zoning its seats down to the states. Okay? So why then most states have done their zoning, but in the federal,
all of a sudden.
And Ayu himself, as in Senator Ayu, the PDP chairman, did not even shake. He did not shake. Even when they organized the committee that were in charge of the zoning committee, you find out that the zoning committee supported the reports to him, but he could not, they did not release the report until almost the last days to the election. Even the report that they released, very shambolic, very scanty. So you find out that these guys, they have powers, and they try to there is always this move to put in your preferred candidate.
Yes.
It's a game of interest, I will always say. So this time around, the president has shown his interest. That's why I do not blame him from a point of a neutral. I do not blame him for trying to, I will not say trying to force. No, if you notice, he has been democratic about it. There are some presidents that will just come, even those so-called governors that he's pleading with, they will just come and say, see, this is the candidate, whether you like it or not, this person will be there.
Very true. And most of them have done it already in their state. So I think they should support the president. What with me, my opinion is they should actually pick the right and most suitable candidate that can change the tides of this country. And also maybe with that, maybe Buhari can get some glory and say, oh, thank God, thank you for saving us and for, you know, sticking your foot down and say, okay, this man should, you know, replace me and change the tides of our economy and a whole lot more that we are yearning for. All right, moving on, let's also talk a bit on this headline. It says, Clark, are you a thoughtless, partial leader should resign? Declines Tambawal's decision arranged, declares Tambawal's decisions arranged, dishonorable, tragic betrayal. Then he also says Peter Obi's position now vindicated. Do you agree with it?
Clark. You know, it's quite and that statement, very respectable.
And I've spoken to.
Yes, from the southern part of the country. But you also notice that, it did not favor him because he never wanted a northern candidate to be there. Okay, you know, he's a very strong advocate of zoning in the PDP, and unfortunately for them, the electoral did not allow persons like him to be candidates, statesmen like him. You know, they call them statutory delegates. They could not allow such delegates to because of the electoral. The electoral act really pointed on each one candidate per local government area. Okay, so I think he's also trying to express his own grievances. It has happened and it has happened. Yes, Ayu, personally, I think that he did not do well. Okay, reason. Okay, I've already mentioned it.
Yeah, you've already talked.
But another reason there is that we live in a country that is divided by ethnic and religious lines. After you are an umpire, you have conducted the primaries, okay? Why then go to Tambuwal, who was more like the decider, in quotes, I will still come to that decider part. But why then go to Tambuwal the following day and then on camera call him out as the hero of the election?
It just shows that you were part of the plan.
Yes. And you know that there are persons that are still grieving from their losses. Okay? Yeah. We cannot shy away from that. Okay. Why then congratulate him? What are you congratulating him for? For coming out after reading out his manifesto, which everybody was given an ample equal amount of time. Then after reading that, he now came out again. You guys now gave him the stage to step down and at the same time proclaim that his supporters should move to a particular candidate. Dying minutes, as in minutes to the election, not hours, not days, not weeks, minutes to the election proper. Then you go to the person's house and you are not congratulating him. For what? For making such a move at that critical time? So
it's a funny one. But
I'm not against Clark for making such utterances because it does not show it isn't free. There's no element of free and fair in that kind of attitude.
Yes.
Attitude. Yeah.
Well, moving on, let's go to the Punch newspaper for today, the first day of June 2022. Let's start with the headliner. There it says, Presidency search for strong consensus candidate. Buhari directs APC governors. Says the chosen one must be nationally acceptable, possesses electoral value. President didn't disclose his favorite. That's our governor speaking there. Akeredolu backs consensus. APC governors in strategic meeting as Onyego grills Osibanjo, Lawan, Bello, and others. I'd like you to chip in with the screening of the APC candidates. How would you access or rate, the screening so far?
Okay, I think I like the idea that they screened everybody, especially Rochas Okorocha.
Yeah,
he's not mentioned
he made it there.
He made it there after being released
on bail.
To go do his screening, and he did. So, but yes, some interest groups are coming out to say, see, this screening was more like, because we saw the video with the screening panel with Tinubu himself, where they were more like, it was more like a discussion interview.
Yeah.
Okay, they were just chillaxing, they were just chilling. So some persons are like, see, we are trying to choose who becomes the president of this country. And you are more like, some persons are saying that it is more like, will I say, an activity that doesn't really have a steam. Yeah, it has no steam. It was unserious because why would you, okay, some questions that they asked Tinubu, why would you be asking him about his certificate when you have been paid 100 million naira, okay, you've been paid 100 million naira, as an aspirant have paid 100 million naira. From that money, you couldn't have
done some investigation,
employ investigative companies to go and investigate properly about this person. It's supposed to be, when they come, you have list of evidence, questions, I think proper questions to ask them. Okay? And we did not get such information. It was more like mere a tap in at the back and say, okay, thank you for coming, bye. I don't know if you get my point. Yeah. Okay, so I think more should have been done. Okay, it is a screening.
Yes.
It is not a discussional class
or trying to meet the candidates.
Meet the candidates,
yes,
my brother.
It's more like that.
Yes,
because,
it's a screening.
But they know all these people already. So if it was meant to be a screening, it should have been a proper screening, not what.
You're asking somebody, are you under investigation? What kind of question is that?
Are you telling us you don't know anything about this person before then?
Yes.
And if you really wanted to know, like you said, you would know. but you don't want to know. So it was just like we just said now. It's just, I want to just see your face, and then you go through to the next phase, which is the primaries proper. We're also watching closely how that primary is going to play out, because we're expecting them to do something different from what the PDP did. You know, we're expecting more from the ruling party, because I know they want to stay in office, they want to hold on to power. So, but if they get it wrong, of course, it will also play out negatively for them come the general elections. All right, let me quickly take other headlines here on the Punch newspaper. We also see this one: Lagos International Airport runway lights collapse. Pilots warn FAAN. You find that story on page 21 of the Punch newspaper. All right, also we see ex-Imo Governor Okorocha gets bail, leaves EFCC custody. Okay, and then I'll take this one, say we are helpless. Abducted train passengers, families lament. That story on page 8 of the Punch newspaper. How long will the federal government continue to look away from these abductees? I mean, after the very sad incident, they have done their own assessment, and are they saying that there's nothing that could be done to rescue these people? I mean,
I beg the government, please let them just negotiate
months
with these guys and let these people be freed.
Yeah.
It's looking like they can't be rescued by force or by power. It is going down the line that the only way to rescue these persons is through negotiation. Look at what happened over the weekend. I am not in support of paying ransom. But in this case, please, the government should just find a way. Yes, these guys do not want financial ransom. They want their prisoners to be released.
That's
they
what
should
they're
just
demanding,
find
yes.
a way, please. Look at what happened, the Sokoto priest that was kidnapped. After 2 days, he was released. And he came out to say, the church paid 100 million to release me. I know it's shameful and it's not something to encourage. And come to think of, look at the amount of money, 100 million naira for kidnappers. What will they do with that money, my brother? They'll go and reinforce, so knowing that this is a lucrative business.
Yeah.
They'll go and reinforce, buy more weapons, buy more persons, increase their cartel.
Yeah. All right.
Please, the government should try.
I agree.
I know it's a difficult one, but they should, please.
I know they have the capacity to handle the situation, and they should do it and on time. I mean, the people that are still alive, I mean, they have. I must say that these are strong people to still be alive till today. Being in captivity, restrained from your normal livelihood, it's not something anybody wants to think about. And I feel that the government should hasten up whatever they think they can do to let these guys out of captivity. All right, moving on, let's go to Daily Sun newspaper. And on Daily Sun newspaper, from the top, let's take this headline. It says, PDP primaries. Why Bala Mohammed refused to step down for Atiku. Northern leaders plot against Bauchi governor for standing his grounds. That story is on page 51 of the Sun newspaper. All right, moving on, we say INEC to partner ICPC, EFCC to stop vote buying. Then Buhari meets governors, gives hint of preferred successors. Once candidate will win election, says outcome must portray party's positive quality on democratic principles, culture, leadership. Embarks on state visit to Spain. All right, then at the bottom of the same paper, we see search for Atiku's running mate widens in Southeast. Ekrem Madu and Namani, Ehedioha's names crop up. Abaribe considered before primaries defection. All right, all of that details on page 51 of the Daily Sun newspaper. All right, so Mr. Victor, let's take this story. INEC to partner with ICPC, EFCC to stop vote buying. Do you think they will succeed in doing so? I mean, I didn't see them stop that during the primaries. I mean, it happened. There were heavy reports, even though they're unconfirmed, but we know how these things play out. I wouldn't say for sure because I didn't get any, confirmation or evidence to this, but there were heavy reports that there were, heavy vote buying during the primaries. And now they say they want to partner with ICPC, EFCC to stop vote, but do you think they will succeed? Okay,
I think it's a good thing that they want to partner. No two ways about that. It's better that you're trying to stop something from happening, okay, or just making efforts to show that, see, I'm trying to stop this from happening. So them partnering with ICPC and EFCC, good, okay, but like you mentioned, over the weekend, strong reports or strong indication that vote buying occurred. Okay, and you can't take that away from Nigerian politics. No two ways about that. But yes, reducing it is what I also am advocating for, which I think they want to try and do. Yes, they also want to experiment it with the Ekiti governorship polls that will come in, I think, June 16th. No, not June, I think. It will happen June this month. By 16th, Ekiti will be electing, Ekiti State will be electing its governor. So I believe vote buying, it's just like Anambra. In Anambra, we saw video clips where persons were giving money and other stuff to go and vote. It was just too open over there. In Nigeria, we know hunger. Hunger has done many things. And this, oh my God. So just imagine a very poor person in a community and you're bringing out 5,000 naira. You say, 5,000 is even too big. Some of them as low as 1.5. They will take that money and go and vote. And you know, sometimes the mentality of the poor in this country can affect these numbers. Now, when you meet them and tell them that, see, this is free and fair election, go and vote, they'll be like, no, my vote will not count. So just give me the money and tell me where I will go and vote. Let me collect this money and go. You guys know what you are doing. So, but there should be laws. Although Nigeria have such laws, it is a criminal act. Okay, but they should also try and find a way and prosecute these people so that the masses will see both the seller and the buyer and the custodians should be locked up and be prosecuted.
I agree.
Yeah. Then you mentioned about Bala Muhammad.
Yes.
I want to call out Bala Muhammad today.
Yeah.
Okay. The Northern Elders Forum also, they are not happy with him because of he was being asked to step aside, but he refused. That aside, do you know that the same Bala Muhammad, oh my goodness God, that in the PDP, they had to, in Bauchi State, they had to bring out a candidate. Mind you, Bala Muhammad has already done he just did only one term, or he's on the last days of his one term. And he said he wants to become president. You know what they did? With the PDP of Bauchi State, that they now pulled out a member of his cabinet to say, see, you will represent the party. Only you, no contest, no opposition, just you. And he bought the form unopposed and he won. Bala Muhammad, while Bala Muhammad goes for the presidential battle, after the election on Saturday, Atiku came out, Bala Muhammad, in fact, I don't even know what it's called. I think it was negligible.
Yeah.
So, do you know what now happened? The news is that the so-called aspirant has withdrawn from the race. Now, there is nobody's second position, mind you, because they made it in a way that this particular aspirant was the only candidate unopposed
In a state.
in a state. Now they want to conduct another primary.
To finally bring someone.
And Bala Muhammad will be part of the primary.
To run for second term.
To run for second term, my brother.
It is well. It's only in Nigeria
Only
that this
country.
Kind
This country.
It's ridiculous to think that this kind of thing is happening.
It is so shameful.
And wait, and you know, everybody's just watching.
Just watching.
As in,
So
no
tell
laws.
me, Mr. Abule, why won't they have factions in these parties? When one man wants to control.
I don't get it.
Wants to control everything.
It's obvious that he's coming back to the state to take back his seat that he has forfeited to run for his presidency. Meanwhile, he was asked to step down and then face your governorship aspirations, but you left it, went there, failed, came back, cancelled whatever, and said, okay, let's start all over. Let me run back again. I mean, it's ridiculous, and that can only happen in Nigeria.
So now, just take a look again. it also goes down to the people. So an incident like this has occurred. The same people will now come and vote for Bala Muhammad to become governor.
They will. You watch it. He's going to emerge as the governorship
Nigeria,
candidate.
who do us this thing?
And will go on to take back his office that he, left. I mean, Mr. Victor, let's stop here for today. Thank you so much. If we continue, we will not finish today. And to our viewers, we want to thank you so much for staying with us up to this time on the Newspaper Review. Don't forget to also drop your comments and reactions regarding the stories we discussed here today. Until next time, I come your way again. This has been the Newspaper Review, and my name is Williams Abule. See you next time.